And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to a new video. And today we're going to talk about a dealership that is still living in outer space. They are still circling Pluto. Their heads are completely in Uranus, and I mean the planet Uranus. It's a clean channel, everybody. It's a very clean channel.
Roman, I believe. I can't even put a finger on Uranus.
But they're completely disconnected from reality. Someone is likely sitting in the back and doing some powdered substance. I don't know how anyone could, with a straight face, charge this much for a car. Now, the car is, in my opinion, a spectacular car. One of my favorite special editions is the Dodge Charger Super Bee for 2023, the last call. And the wide body is amazing and plumb crazy, but the blue Super Bee standard body is still a spectacular car as well. Of course, we'd all rather have, most likely, we'd rather have the wide body in plumb crazy, but man, this blue standard body Charger is gorgeous. But remember, it's mostly stickers with a little bit of suspension changes, kind of like a 1320, if you will, and that makes it kind of special. And one of the more special of the special edition cars that were rolled out for 2023. Unlike my Swinger that I am sitting in right now, that I do love in Sublime Green with the 6-speed manual, the shaker hood, I do love this car. It's awesome, but it's stickers. Let's just be honest. Everything about this car is pretty much a scat pack with some stickers, a little bit of stitching, nothing special. But the Super Bee was definitely something a little different, and one of the, I believe, most sought after. And I believe for good reason, for a short window, people were going to pay a little bit more for that one over the other ones. But today, in the current market that we're in, with the massive oversupply and so many of these CDJR dealerships struggling to get rid of cars and having cars sitting on the market forever and ever, for so long, it's not even funny, approaching a year in some cases, that this car that this dealership, Crown CDJR, has on their lot, that I got sent to me from a subscriber, and then went and found the post because he sent me the link and started laughing. I had to pull over the car, get out, to lay on the ground to get my breath back after I saw what they stuck on the window. And I don't know who it was that took this picture, that sent this to this group on Facebook, but boy, you hit the nail on the head with this one, and it's too good for me not to share. So let's jump right in. This spectacular standard body Super Bee Scat Pack Dodge Charger 2023 is listed for sale for the bargain price. You ready for this? $119,349. The markup is $50,000, and they're asking over $5,000 in dealer add-ons. And you know how I feel about dealer add-ons. I mean, you want to talk about scamming. When they go, there's no markups, and then you show up at the dealership and like, oh, we've got $5,000 in add-ons, and then you start to price out the add-ons, and they make 0 cents whatsoever. We'll talk about that more in a second. But this dealer wanted $50,000. They want $50,000 more. Now, this post was literally up just a couple of days ago, so this can't be an old post either. This is happening now. But because I was curious, I decided to go ahead and call the dealership. And yes, I recorded the call. And yes, I asked the guy for permission to record the call. And here's the problem. I freaking like the guy. I mean, I love this kid. You can tell he's a young guy getting his world started. He's not been sitting in a dealership for 20 years screwing people over. I got to know him, and I can't roast him. Is that bad of me? Like, I just can't roast him. He did say that the car would go up in value, which is ridiculous. So maybe I'll put that clip here.
Yeah, that's honestly a great choice, you know. It's a limited edition, they're not going to make them anymore, so it's going to be a nice little collector's car.
Now, you think that's going to go up in value?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
That's it. That's the only part of this thing I'll put here. When I asked him to go up in value, he said yes. But outside of that, he's just regurgitating what his sales managers and general managers and other insane people that dealership have been teaching him to say. but I can't roast him. So I'm not going to play that out, because basically what happened is we ended up having a great conversation about the car, and he immediately came off the add-ons. He said, I'm not going to kill a deal over add-ons. Don't worry about that. He did say, well, I'll do them at cost. Well, how do I know what the cost is? But I didn't even beat the kid up, because by the time we were done, he's like, forget about the add-ons. You know, our markup's 17,000, I think he said. 17,000, not 50,000. We'll come down to that. And of course, I told him that, look, I would have to be under sticker. I would have to be under sticker to buy that car. So he came down 17,000. I said it would have to be under MSRP. And between like all of us here, if he said, come in, we'll do a deal under MSRP, Lord knows I might even do the deal. I mean, why? Because I can. How about that? Because I got this car and I'd like to have a 4-door. I don't know. I'm putting too many miles on this thing. I'd love to buy some. If the price is right, I'm a buyer for anything. But the price is not right. So when I say that, I'm just saying that, you know, I'm not just trolling these guys. Like, if they'll do a deal, they want to do a deal. Generally, I'm a buyer. I mean, evidenced by all the cars, if you've been following my channel for long enough. I think I'm on my 8th or 9th Challenger and Charger. So trust me, I'll do a deal. But bottom line is, I'm just not going to roast him. I can't. He was just laying down. Like, whatever I got to do to make a deal, they came off of that. So even though the sticker is ridiculous, it's utterly, insanely ridiculous, they immediately are coming off of that. And I also don't want to get him in trouble at his job and get him fired, because, you know, so, that happened to one guy. And he was not mad. He was almost grateful that he got out of a slimy dealership, but because he was so cool on the phone with me. So I'm trying not to ruin people's lives right now, even though the best thing could happen to him if he sees this video is get out of the car business, go get another job before they screw your brain up, my friend. I digress. Let's move on and talk about these add-ons, because the dealership deserves a little bit of roasting, and I think you'll agree. And I think every dealership can be just thrown into this bucket of crap, if you will, because so many of them are doing this, and we're seeing it so much more now that they can't get the markups. They're trying to augment that profit loss with the add-ons. And let's talk about the add-ons, what they put on here. I'll put on the screen. And this gets really funny, so you don't want to miss out on this, because I proved my point here. So first, the Clear Shield. It protects door edges against from dings and chips, protects door handles. For $395, you can get these things on Amazon for probably under $30. I think it's under $30 or $40, the whole thing. And cut them out yourself. And it's super cheap. This is not worth $400. It's craziness. SWAT, which he told me was a GPS device, so if somebody steals your car. What I found out with a lot of these GPS devices is when your car gets stolen and you report it stolen, then you can't see where it is, because they don't want you going vigilante and finding the people. So I just put my own GPS on my car. Not that I'm going to go vigilante, but if the cops don't go get the car, I might go steal the thing back myself. And so that's for $995, and you can get all kinds of GPSs for under $100 and stick in your car. Hell, stick an Apple AirTag in your car, and you'll be able to find it. Criminals use them to find people. Why can't we find our car with them for, you know, $20 or whatever the hell they are? But then the punchline here, this is one of the punchlines. Wheel locks. You know, it's one of my pet peeves, and I just rant on these things. $395. Now here's the deal. Because I wanted to make my point, and I wanted to prove to you all how utterly insane this is that these dealers will charge $395, some $350, some $300, but they're all over the place with this over $300 for wheel locks. And how much can you get them? Well, it's one thing that you can go to Amazon, or you can go to the Mopar website or whatever, and you could buy them online. But what if I went to the exact dealership that this car is sitting on and called their parts department and asked their parts rep, how much can I get wheel locks for? What would he say? Meaning I could walk right past this Super Bee, into the dealership, past the sales floor, back to the parts department, and ask the man to sell me wheel locks for a Dodge Charger. And what would he sell them to me for? Well, here's how much.
Thank you for calling Parts. How can we help you?
Hi, I have a 2023 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack, and I wanted to get the locking lug nut, the wheel locks. Do you guys sell those in the parts department?
Yeah. Let me see. 2023 Challenger.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's the same for a Charger, I'm sure.
Alright, so... Yeah, so the wheel lock kit, I mean, of course, it comes with the locks for the 4 wheels and 1 key. Let's see how much this one goes for.
Mm.
So it's $91.05 plus tax for the wheel lock kit, and we do carry them in stock. So.
Yes, that was the parts guy at this dealership telling me they were like $91. So they're charging $395. But Brad, you know, the salesmen always say, yeah, but that's not installation. You got to install them yourself. Well, anybody, my 17-year-old beautiful, amazing daughter could get the jack out and put those things on. But they got to torque them right or your wheel's going to fly off. And oh my gosh, that's okay. You'll learn in 1 second why this makes no sense. Any tire shop will put those things on for you for free. Give them a pat on the back. Promise them your business. But we'll talk about that more in a second as we get to our other favorite subject. But we got to go through a couple between here. So, but hold this thought in your head. Windshield protection, $995. I don't know what the hell that is. I didn't get into it with them, but I have insurance that covers my windshield. So that's in my insurance policy. So I don't need that. And that's why you could keep that. And I don't know if they're putting, you know, PPF, window PPF or something on. I don't know what the hell that is. But $1,000, I don't need that at all. Here's a fun one. Touch screen protector. You know the protector you put on your phone screen? Well, they have it for the screen on the Dodge Challengers and Chargers. And you can get those for, I don't know, $10, $20. They're nothing, and you put them on yourself. It's no big deal. One, I don't even know why the hell you need that. I've never needed that. I've had any of these things. I've never needed that. But here's the good news. For that little sheet of plastic, you can pay them the bargain price of $395 for your touchscreen protector. What? That's insane. Then we've got nitro fill, and you know that's my other pet peeve. And generally they want $300, $350, $300 for them. At this dealership, they're asking $499 for nitro fill. That's where they put nitrogen in your tires. That's insane. You all probably saw my other video where I called a tire store, my local tire store, and they were willing to do it for like $7. Well, here's the good news. I went ahead and called this dealership where they charge $499 on this car to sell it to you with nitro fill tires. But I called the service department and asked the service department how much to put the wheel locks on and how much to fill my tires with nitrogen. And here's what they said.
Services with Jolene.
Hi, Jolene. I just had a quick question about bringing my car in for service when I bring it in. Do you guys, can you tell me how much you charge to put my wheel locks on my Challenger and fill my tires with nitrogen?
So, did you need like your wheel locks broken off?
No, not at all. Just
the wheel locks that you have on there now?
Bought my wheel locks from your parts department, and if you guys
Okay.
can put them on and then just do the nitrogen fill in my tires.
Okay, we won't charge you for the wheel lock, but the nitrogen we charge like about, depending on how much air you need, it's like $5 each tire.
Oh, awesome. Well, you're the best. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
All right, take care. So was that hilarious? Like $5 or whatever the hell it was, and they're not going to charge anything to put the wheel locks on? So no, at this point, for nitro fill and wheel locks on this car, you're going to spend $900 instead of basically under $100 by walking back to their parts department and their service department. That is how ridiculous this is. They don't even try to mask it. You think sales would tell parts and service, hey, look, if anybody calls about nitrogen, tell them it's $500. If anybody calls about, you know, wheel locks, tell them it's $400, so that we're at least consistent in what we charge, rather than just put this on here and say, we're just charging that because we're going to hold this car hostage from you. And then, Pulse Safer Braking. I had to look that up and what it was. It's a $30 device that connects to your brake light, so when you tap on your brakes, they flicker. That's supposed to help keep people from running into the back of you. It's $30. $30 thing is what I found so far online. So they want $395 for that. And then they want paint and fabric protection. No idea what that is, but I'll tell you right now, I guarantee you It ain't PPF, and it's probably some spray thing on the inside of the car, and on the outside of the car, it's, you know, some super cheap, you know, spray ceramic crap that you could buy at AutoZone for $1,295, which takes it to about, what, $5,300, which takes this entire car to $119,349. Of course, I spoke to the gentleman. They came off of these things, and they came off of the markup, but still wanted $17,000 more, which basically took this car to, you know, Hellcat range pricing, which would make absolutely no sense. He did say that he, you know, believes it'll go up in value, but anybody who believes a car salesman and buys a car because they said that, you kind of deserve what you get.
You're an idiot!
Makes sense. I don't think anybody's that stupid to take his word for it. So that's just a crazy story I want to share with you, and I want you all just to be very vigilant out there and being careful. If you push hard enough, they're going to waive all these things. Now, when I showed up to the dealership, would he try to slip them back on and put one on? Yes, it would be a 7-hour tour, man, of fighting to get some of these things removed or all these things removed and getting to the finish line. And then they would still be fighting with me about 17 grand over. So it's not even worth going to the dealership and fighting over it. Now, if I really, really was in need of a car and I wanted that car, I believe I can go in there and I believe I could tackle them to the ground. And I believe after 7 hours in that dealership, I would likely emerge victorious and drive away in that car for MSRP, but I'd want it for less. And I don't know that they would do that because it's been sitting there for quite a long time, I'm sure. So be careful out there, folks. Don't see this stuff and think that that means it's worth this. That means that anything on that list is worth it. It's not. And it's not that I'm just saying that. They themselves will sell you this stuff for cheaper just by calling in to parts and service. What a revelation that is. Something I've said many times in the video, but I thought what a cool thing it would be to show you all. So with that, everybody, be careful out there. Shop wisely, stand firm, be willing to walk out of the dealerships if you don't get the deal that you want, that you're committed to. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.